Today I'm counting down my picks for the 10 best products I reviewed in 2025. Now I had to sift through about 200 products that I reviewed this year to find the best of the bunch. Not everything in this list was new in 2025, but it was new to me. Without further delay, let's get right to my best of 2025. We start our countdown with a fun item for kids, and that is the Robot Artist. This interesting item can not only draw from about 150 different cards, but kids can learn to draw while they draw along with it. Not only is it fun for kids to watch, but I kind of liked watching it too. So let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. They claim it is an educational toy that's an interactive drawing machine. Helps children complete a drawing on their own.
Hello, my name is Mao Liang. It's nice to meet you. I'm good at drawing. Let's learn to draw together. Strawberry. My dear friend, you can choose to draw or repeat it.
So now that they scan the strawberry, all we have to do is press this button. It should start going. Here we go.
Let's start drawing.
Oh, it's drawing. We're drawing. That music's rough. I gotta turn this off. Let me see. Now this is cool. This is really cool watching this draw this, but that music was kind of rough. Not for me. I mean, that's pretty good. That is pretty good.
Mantis.
Let's get started here. Press the button.
Let's start drawing.
All right, I'm still coloring my strawberry, but the praying mantis is done. Looking pretty good.
Poached egg.
Poached egg. The egg is a little bit underwhelming, but that's pretty much what they show.
Sunflower.
All right, here's the sunflower. Looking pretty good. Now I did finish coloring my strawberry. What do you guys think? Not too bad, huh? One of the highlights of my summer in 2025 was using number 9 with Bailey, and that is the dog pool. This model was easy to set up. It was easy to take down. It held water well. We had a lot of fun with it. I felt like this one definitely deserved a place in this countdown, and here's some scenes from that review. Now, I picked up the XXL model, which is 63 inches in diameter, 12 inches tall. It sets up in seconds. The build looks pretty good. The sides are pretty sturdy. There's a hard board of some sort in there. It doesn't seem like it wants to collapse inward or outward, really. The drain plug is right here. There is a hose attachment, but I'm not going to be using my hose to drain it, so. But they do have that option available. And we are off, and Bailey is interested. Bailey is laying next to the pool. I think she's trying to tell me she wants to go in. There we go. Okay, she's in the pool. We have dog in the pool. I mean, she's wagging her tail. That's a good thing. As much fun as we're having, the main thing is the pool itself, and the pool seems to be holding. It doesn't seem like there's been any issue with that as well. I think she wants to get out now. That's telling me she wants to get out. Here it goes. Bailey, don't drink that, please. All right, one thing to point out is that it's pretty much stopped draining, and it's maybe a couple of inches deep still, so I'm gonna have to lift the side up to finish that off. So, well, for right now, I realize that instead of tipping it, I can just keep kind of folding it up as it goes, and that raises the water line, so I don't have to hold it the whole time. And Bailey approves. Number 8 on my countdown is the Shark FlexBreeze fan. I reviewed a lot of fans over the years, and this is by far the most versatile. You can use it on a tabletop or the floor, plugged in the wall or with a battery, with a mist or without, with or without the remote. It seems like the options are limitless. I used it all summer. I found it to be an excellent product. Here's some scenes from that review. This is the Shark FlexBreeze Pro Mist fan. I paid $250 for this. They claim that it's an indoor-outdoor fan. Battery lasts up to 24 hours. 70-foot range. Whisper quiet. It can transform back and forth from pedestal to tabletop. I've got the canister full of water here. Now the canister attaches kind of like the Shark vacuums, where it just kind of locks into place. That's it. We are locked and loaded. You just unlock this here, fill it with water, which we are full. This hose just goes in the back of this And then the other end attaches to the bottom right there. We are charged up and ready to go. Let's turn this on. Turning the fan on, and Bailey is very interested. Hitting the power button now. I'm gonna hit this turbo button here, go all the way up. We're gonna max this thing out. Oh, I feel it. I feel it back here. Even several feet away. I'm getting a nice, strong breeze here. Let's put this misting feature on now. Let's see what happens there. Oh, we got mist. We have mist. Oh, wow. If I hold my hand there, it's actually getting wet. Look at this. It's interesting though that the mist defaults to the highest, which is almost too much. That seems like that's almost an extreme mist. It almost should start off at the lowest and work its way up. Minor complaint, I guess. Even sitting this far away from it, I feel like my clothes and my skin are getting wet. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I gotta say one thing. It might be 91 degrees, but I'm almost chilly out here. I'm almost cold. Number 7 on my countdown is probably one of the more interesting conversation pieces I own, and that is the Kaleido clock. Now, this is a clock that shows a variety of bizarre images and animations. Whenever anybody comes over, it always ends up being the topic of conversation. You could say it's a novelty item, but to me, the novelty has not worn off yet. So let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. Now, they claim that it's a clock that reimagines how time is displayed. Thousands of daily Kaleido animations created by artists and motion designers. Inspired by vintage mantle clocks, it includes a wooden frame. Oh, we have a clock. Well, that's kind of cool looking. Do we have sound? I don't hear any sound. Is there sound? I wouldn't say it's particularly bright, which is probably not a bad thing because we don't necessarily want an overly bright clock. I don't mind the ticking, but I might mind if I'm sleeping. Now it's almost the top of the hour. The top of the hour is a couple minutes away, so let's see if this does chime. Very classic sounding chimes there. I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and I did not lose all my settings. There's a dim mode that comes on automatically, or you can set it manually with a remote control. That turns off the animations and all the sound. Number 6 on my countdown is an item I bought thinking it was a novelty piece, but it ended up being something quite useful, and that is this, the watermelon knife. I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's like a machete. This thing cuts through everything like butter. I don't know if you'd pull this out at a fancy dinner, but it certainly works well on a lot more things than just watermelon. So let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. So they claim that it's an ultra sharp stainless steel knife, ideal for cutting watermelon. Includes a safety sheath right there. All right, it seems very sharp, very smooth. One thing I'm noticing is the size. It fits through this relatively small watermelon, so you don't have it get lost in the center there, and then your cut gets kind of uneven. Because comparing it to a chef's knife, a chef's knife is much smaller. All right, as I'm cutting, it does cut very smoothly. Something else is if you don't have the best knife skills in the world, like me, this is also good for compensating for that because it seems to be pretty sharp, pretty smooth, and large enough that you don't get lost inside the watermelon. So far, so good on this. I'm gonna try some cuts in a non-sawing motion to see how that goes. I mean, you can do it. Maybe a little bit more elbow grease required, but you can do it either way. I kind of prefer the sawing motion myself. The oddly satisfying part is to pull the centerpiece out, and there we go. Not bad, not too bad at all. And number 5 is a brand that always ends up in my top 10, and that is Ninja. In this case, the Ninja Swirl, which I believe they've renamed the Ninja Scoop and Swirl. What they basically did was took the Ninja Creami and added a soft serve option, which a lot of people wanted. Let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. This is the Ninja Swirl. I paid $349 for this direct from the Ninja website. Now the claims from Ninja are that you can turn almost anything in ice cream or soft serve. Placing the frozen yogurt in the outer bowl. It just slides in here and you twist around here. According to the instructions, I want to select soft serve. Frozen yogurt. Oh, there it goes. Already started. Press the button. Now they say if it's crumbly that you should put it on respin. Placing it back in there. Respinning. 1 minute. Oh, that looks much creamier, much creamier. Remove pint from the outer bowl. Check. Locate the dispense lid right here and twist onto the pint. Install the pint by lining the blue tabs. There's one here, there's one up here. All right, it's doing something. Oh, we have soft serve. We have soft serve. Oh, it's coming out fast. It does look quite nice. What do you guys think? Like they said, it took about 10 seconds for it to start dispensing, and once it did, it came out perfectly. The texture is as good as you could get. Number 4 is an item that I reviewed back in April and it's still on my countertop, and that is the Wonder Oven. I find this to be especially good for reheating food, and I use that more than my regular oven or my microwave for that. So let's take a look back at my original Wonder Oven review. Here's the unit itself. Now I paid $145 for this, but it usually runs about $175. They claim that it's a countertop oven that can air fry, bake, roast, toast, reheat, and broil. The first thing we gotta do though is preheat it. 325, bake. 2.5 minutes. All right, let's load this up. Let's check it out. I'm gonna put them on the wire rack and I'm gonna keep going. I have plenty more to make, so I'll make several rounds of this. They're not sticking to the non-stick sheet, that's a good thing. Next up, let's try something pretty common in an oven like this. Do a personal pizza, that's right. I'm gonna put in there according to these instructions for going in a regular oven. So we're gonna preheat it to 425. I'm gonna use the bake function for this one. My wire rack on the top, close it up. Now, according to the instructions, it's supposed to take 19 minutes, but supposedly it's faster in here, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. I set it for 19 minutes, but I don't think I'm gonna need that long, so I'll let you know when anything changes. All right, we are done here. Now I noticed the crust was getting done a lot faster than the center, so I lowered the temperature to 325. That seemed to fix it. And there is the final result. Yeah, pretty good. It actually ended up being less than the 19 minutes they called for. Ended up being about 14 minutes, but part of that I actually had lowered down to 325 because it was getting done on the outside a little faster. So a little trial and error, but I think in the end the result's pretty good. The first thing I see every morning is number 3 on this list, which is the projection clock. Now this may not be the most exciting item in this countdown, but it's something I even consider for the top spot because I like it so much. No more squinting to see a blurry clock across the room for me. I open my eyes in the morning and I see the time. I do really enjoy this product, and here's some scenes from that review. Now they claim that it's an alarm clock with a 180-degree adjustable projection feature right here. They say it can be displayed on walls or ceilings. Has nice big numbers, I kind of like that. 5:38 p.m. So here's the flip projection on off. Let's see. Now when it's completely dark, it actually looks pretty good. And the clock itself also looks certainly functional enough in this light. You can flip it over. I kind of like that. There's a dimmer button. Let me see if I can find that in the dark. Here's a dimmer button. Everything seems to work as it's supposed to, so I definitely like that. All right, it's time for the real world test. I'm going to show you the ceiling with the lamp on and with the lamp off, and we'll see how it looks. As soon as Bailey gets comfortable here. Bailey, get comfortable. Get comfortable, Bailey. I'm not playing ball in bed, Bailey. All right, there's my ceiling right now. You really can't see much. I'm going to reach over to the lamp and turn it off, and we'll see what we got. Oh, there it is. Look at that. It's certainly readable. It's certainly obvious, but it's not imposing. It's not too bright, and I think it's pretty nice. It's very convenient. All I have to do is open my eyes, and my clock's right there. So I've got to say, I'm kind of a fan of this. I didn't really think I would be, but this particular model, I'm not sure about others because this is the first one I've ever tried before. Number 2 on this list, it seems like it was an item made specifically for me and my notoriously cold hands, and that is the Halo hand warmer. It warms your entire hand, not just your palms, not just your fingertips. It also has this nice, comfortable fake fur lining. The battery life is great. It can double as a phone charger. Get out of here, man. This thing is great. This one belongs high on the list, and here's my original review, and you can see why. This is the Halo rechargeable hand warmer pouch. I paid $44 for this on QVC. Now they claim that it's a heated hand warming pouch with a 10K milliamp hour power bank right there. They said also includes a zip pouch for essentials, 3 heat modes with a battery life from 3 to 6 hours depending on your setting. Oh, it feels warm. And I'm on low right now. The first thing I'm noticing also is that I have warm patches on here, right here and here, which is right where my fingers are at. So it's certainly finger friendly. A lot of these hand warmers warm your palm when you got Raynaud's. That doesn't help. You need your fingers warmed up. You can kind of see the warm patches right in the center there. That's the warmest area, and that's where your fingertips are at, and that's what I want. The button is in a perfect position for your right thumb to find it. So I'm gonna hold it down. There's a pouch in the front where my phone will fit pretty nicely, but it won't charge. So up front, I don't feel it. Let me see with my hands in there. I do feel it with my hands. It blocks my hands just a little bit, but not too bad. All right, so I did try the power bank feature. So what I did was I took the power bank out of the back, plugged it in my phone. My phone did not fit in the back section, so I had to put it in the front section and run the wire over, which man, not really that big of a deal. I did notice that when my phone is in here, it's a little bit more crowded for my hands, maybe not that big of a deal. Now, my first impression is pretty good. Now, I tend not to use the word game changer because it's kind of a cliche, it's kind of overused, but in my case, it might be, because someone who has just freezing hands all the time, it's kind of hard to function. When I have this, my hands are not cold. Usually they are. That's a huge difference to me. Now, before I get to my top pick, I have a couple of items that didn't quite make the list, but I felt like they deserved a place in this video. So let's take a look at my honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is yet another robot, and that's the robot pencil sharpener. This might be primarily for kids, but I liked it. It's a hands-free pencil sharpener that can handle most size pencils and has multiple sharpening levels. I thought it was a really good pencil sharpener even without the cute design. So let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. Now they claim that it's a fully automatic pencil sharpener. Just drop in a pencil and it does the rest. So let me put it on sharpness level 1 here, and I'm going to place this unsharpened pencil level 1. I think level 1 will take 7 to 12 seconds for an unsharpened pencil. Oh, there it goes. Oh, look at it. There it goes. Whoa, that was quick. Look at that tip. Look at that tip. That is a beautifully sharp tip. Level 1. Let's move to level 2. There it goes. Hands free. I'm not touching it. Here is level 2, and not a big difference. I'm not seeing a huge difference between the two, but let's keep going. There it goes. It's doing its thing. That's very blunt. And stop. Okay, 42 seconds for 5 pencils from an unsharpened state to perfectly sharp. My second honorable mention is not one product, but several by the Dio Candle Company. They offer a whole line of candles with unusual scents, many of them nostalgic. They have the Video Store. They have Thunderstorm. They have Pickles and Juice Box. They really know how to capture the smell of nostalgia. So let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. First up is the Thunderstorm scented candle. Next up, let's see what we got here. This is the Bookstore scent, that's right. And the last scent of the Dio candles is my favorite of the bunch, the one I'm looking forward to the most, which is Video Store. I'm not sure if that's a Video Store smell when you get it point blank like that, but that's an unusual smell, that's for sure. Wow, that's an unusual smell. I don't even know how to describe that. It is kind of, I mean, when you think Video Store, you definitely get Video Store. All right, here we go. I left the room once again to reset my nose. This one's a little bit stronger than the previous one, than the Video Store. Man, that kind of, almost, you know what, that actually kind of smells like a leather-bound book. Imagine having a whole case of leather-bound books behind you. That's what it smells like. We have our Thunderstorm candle lit. Once again, I'll come back in a few minutes and see how it smells. That's an interesting one. Does it smell like a thunderstorm? Maybe. I can see how some people would get that. I'm not sure everybody would get it, but I can certainly see how some people would. As someone who really enjoys the smell of a thunderstorm, I do enjoy the scent of this candle. The sense of smell is very subjective though. Some people might smell it one way and others smell another. To me, I can see what they're going for and I can see how it smells like a thunderstorm. Is it worth $35 for the novelty? Maybe. It might be to some people. Well, it comes down to this for my countdown. Now, I had a hard time making the #1 choice pick for this year because a lot of them, I felt like they deserved to be there. But in the end, I went with the Cuisinart Fast Freeze Ice Cream Maker. Now, the obvious comparison here is to compare it to the Ninja Creami, but what they did was they made it smaller, they made it quieter, and they made it cheaper, and the results are similar. You could even store this in a drawer. I think they did a great job of that one, and here's some scenes from my original review. They claim that it's a 5-in-1 frozen dessert maker. Makes half a pint of frozen dessert in 3 minutes. I think you're supposed to put the mixing assembly onto the cup first. It's in the locked position. Then you add the power handle, which only goes on if these two are already attached. Here we go. All right, it's not that loud. Not as loud as the Creami. That was pretty fast. Going for the second round now. Still green. And it just turned red. Now this, and let's see what we've got. Well, it looks pretty good. That looks like ice cream to me. We have somewhat crumbly ice cream now, it looks like. Oreo minis on the chocolate ice cream. Reassembling the unit. Mix-in setting selected. Oh, it sounds different. All right, I think we finally got it. Let's see. Good texture, look at that. Nice ice cream texture there. It tastes like chocolate ice cream with Oreo bits in it, which is exactly what it's supposed to be. Well, that's it for this year's countdown. It's always fun to look back the entire year and see the best and the worst of the year. And speaking of worst, that video is coming up pretty soon where I pick the bottom 10 of 2025. Thank you once again to all those of you who have stuck with me all these years. And I hope you stick with me through 2026 when I celebrate my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.